On my way back from the Meadows to Northfield, it's just one of those days where the horses actually raced very good. Although it didn't show up in a 4th place third, a break, and a 6th. Wasn't really an inspiring type of day from the outside looking in, but my take on it, I'm always optimistic anyway, but my take on it is very clear. Brace for Landing was going to win if he doesn't get run into, and I was riding tight anyway. I guess a percentage of the fault lies in myself. I didn't feel that Ronnie's horse was drifting that much, and Brace was getting in a little bit, but I didn't want to check him. I wanted to come forward. And Ronnie's horse just kind of jumped out just a hair, maybe a foot, as I was getting right to him, and he ended up clipping him. And Brace did a hell of a job to stay on stride for the most part. Get out of gear, but even the most grounded horses that 8 or 9 times out of 10 that ends up in a break, and it just goes to show how sure-footed he was today and how actually good he was. We'll talk more about that later. But the race itself, what I was happy with was he wasn't overly aggressive at the gate. Could have been, didn't need to be, behaved, followed well. I had a decision to make down the backstretch. Do I come first over? And I said, nah, I haven't seen him in a while. I don't want to empty him out today. We're going enough, and it's a short enough field. I felt that if Ronnie came, I could do exactly what I did, which was slide out onto his back. Again, this is Brace with the ear hood on and earplugs on. Lots of weight up front. There's lots of room for improvement when you look at him. I've always said this, and I'll continue to say it until he proves me wrong. This horse is still very frail looking, right? And that's no fault of anybody's. Megan did a great job with him. Tim's done a great job with him. Everybody's done what they can with the horse. I just think when he starts to put some real girth on himself, some real weight on himself, and builds extra muscle, I think he's going to be a really, really good horse. Now, it's frustrating. We're at the end of his 3-year-old season. He has not done what we wanted him to do in any way, shape, or form. But if anything, you can see how aged horses can put money on their card. And I still think, I'm almost positive that Brace for Landing's his best races of his life are still well in the future. I think there's a lot of race left in this guy, and he really just strikes me still as a baby. Because he's 3. But, we've seen him race all these times. You're like, wow, he's raced maturity-wise, grown exponentially. Physically, as far as mental maturity, grown exponentially. Physical maturity, he's still... It was funny, we had physicals on the kids the other day and talking about percentiles, right? Ava was in the 80th percentile of height for girls her age. I would say Brace for Landing, physical maturity wise, would be in the 20 percentile. That's my take. Looking at all these 3-year-olds grow up, you look at Spitfire Overseas, he literally looks like he ate Brace for Landing. The horse is mammoth. You look at Carter Michael Dio. Now these were big colts to begin with, but Brace wasn't a shrimp. This is he looks, I tell you, I told Mike Wilder today, we were talking about him after the race, and he remembered the horse from before, and I said, this colt, I believe, almost looks the same today as he did when he walked out of the ring as a yearling. That's how I feel about him. And that isn't some sort of deficiency. That's just that he hasn't grown up yet. So I spent 4 minutes, again, as I generally do, sticking up for and talking about Brace for Landing. I just thought the horse looked... Traffic jam. I got lots of time. I just thought the horse felt great, and the... I was going to say experience, but the professionalism he showed it, and he got clubbed. He got clubbed pretty good. I didn't just rub up against the wheel. He hit the fork. So really put threw a wrench into our momentum. But for him to stay up on stride was pretty impressive. So good job by him today. Cutie Cumber, she's coming off tying up. We couldn't train her up really tight. I'm torn on this. She was running in a little bit more. I don't remember her that well. I only drove her last year and trained her down, but I hadn't driven her in a long time. We had a line pole on the outside, and I warmed her up, and I said, nah, she's running in. I didn't want to take the line pole off in case she coasted out in the straights, but we ended up adding a line pole to the inside and a gating pole to the inside, running in, getting into that first turn. She ran in, but I have I have to be completely honest. I had told Megan emphatically and Scotty that I don't believe she looks at she was jumping over shadows. It felt to me like she sashayed over something. Now, I can't say certainly she did because she trotted over all the shadows the rest of the track, and there was lots of them. Never put a step in. But it felt to me as we got to that turn that she just kind of sashayed away from something and rolled off stride. Now, I'm not giving her the benefit of it. I'm not going to say, oh, she jumped over. Nope. She made a break. She will not make a break next week. Take the line pole off of the outside of her. Just leave the one on the inside. This will likely be her last start for us in the week coming, and today could have been too. As I said to Tim, I'd like for her to, at least what I believe, finish out her career on a high note, and I believe she's a winner next week if she behaves the way I thought she will. Now, I'm not gonna just be stubborn about it and say, and I am not putting a shadow roll on. I will. I hate them. I don't know why. It's an OCD I have. I don't know, but we will put one on her next week because she's worn it all summer, so it's not like she's not used to one anyway. And I can't say truthfully that she didn't kind of skip over that shadow going into the first turn. There was one there. Now, she went over it quite fine in the last turn. She went over all the shadows and never put a step in after that. So, but it's not worth. There's no need to not put one on her. So she'll wear one next week. So, Cutie Cumber, I would be shocked. You line those horses up behind that gate again, and we get to tweak the equipment a little bit. I'm a winner. I know I am today. Doesn't mean for sure I am next week, I guess, is what I'm getting at. But I am a winner today. So, Cutie Cumber, I think will, all things being equal, give me a spot in the middle of the gate the way we did today. Change our equipment around a little bit. I think we're headed to the winner's circle next week. And I think more importantly than shadow rolls and equipment and this and that was the fact that she was coming in a little tied up and we weren't able to train her up real hard. So I think give us another week, get some more fluids into her, get that AST down perfect, hopefully keep it perfect, put a good training mile into her, and I think she's headed to the winner's circle next week. That's my prediction. And stay close. I said to Tim, he could have shut his air off. I think he scoped him after, said there was some mucus. They didn't feel that he had flipped his palate. There wasn't any redness on his palate. But as I said to him, you can't leave with a horse like 8 starts in a row or 7 starts in a row and then just say, "Ooh boy," and take him back. It doesn't work that way. So it was a little bit of a wrestling match getting him in behind, and then we ended up in a good spot second over. And I felt that he should pounce, but what was it? 6th beat a length for 3rd. He likes to be up front. He likes to be sitting 1, 2, 3. He's not a horse that's going to circle the field. It's just not going to happen. So, not playing to his strengths today, but I just couldn't leave with him again. It was certain butchery if I leave with him. As it turned out, Ronnie probably would have dropped me in the 2-hole and moved Tequila Talk into the front, or he would have left me out there and let me run the white-faced horse, the St. K horse, into the ground, or he would have been forced to let me go. But it would have been a repeat, just a rinse and repeat from last week, and I didn't want that. Stay Close didn't need that. I'm not saying Mark drove him exactly how he should have last week. I was surprised with the way it worked out, and I did not want to repeat it. We knew that he had bled a little bit. I didn't want to see that. No blood found today, so that's good. But there was a little bit of mucus, so there was something we can work on. 1, not his trip. 2, still raced well for a horse that's been left with every start for the last 6 or 7 starts, and then raced from last. Did race good, and then 3, as I said, just some mucus found there. But a 2, 2.5 out of 10. I assume 10. Why do they do that? They can't. You guys don't. It's a 2 out of 10. It's a 1 out of 5. Can we not just round it down? Can we not do that in this country? The vets do that all the time over. How much he bleed? 2 out of 10. No, he bled 1 out of 5. What are you talking about? What? If it's a 3 out of 10, it's 1.5 out of 5. That's pretty much what we're looking at. I don't know why we have to round up to the tenths. I don't get that. I have no idea. Anyway, so in explaining this to you, you can see, although, yes, today was kind of a ho-hum day, Brace for Landing was a winner today, and he'll get a chance to get them again next week. Cutie Cumber, as I said, not the perfect day for her, but all things being equal, let me line up again, run that back. I'm a winner today. I'm almost sure I am. And then Stay Close. They're going to give me the 8-hole again. They're pushing the force. They can't give me the 8-hole again. St. K's got to go to the right. Get me to the inside of St. K. Then we'll see what's what. Anyway, that's where we're at for today. I'm headed back now. We have, I think, 4 tonight at Northfield, and we got fish racing at Yonkers. So lots going on here at the stable today. Busy day tomorrow. I don't know if it's one of you never want to get in the car, drive 5 hours to race anybody for any amount of money at 30-1. Having said that, I don't think the fair credence has been given to Mel Gibson. I don't. If you're saying a horse is a 30-1 shot, he's got no shot. Well, aside from the break last week and Ronnie raced from the week before, the horse has been 1, 2, 3 every week. I don't. In fact, I could be wrong, but I think the only time he missed the board was 2 starts ago when he got away last in the Houghton, by the way. And was it Houghton? Yes, it was the Houghton. And the start after that, preceding that, last week where he made a break. So I don't see where the 30-1 is fair from a favorable post too. No, it's like 8, 9, 10-1 max. Anyway, he's a fringe player. He's an outside shot, but it is a 5-hour drive. So I'm going to race at the Meadows, scoot out, jump in my car, and drive 5 hours straight to Indiana. Race Mel Gibson, come back, go with the babies on Friday, have a short little nap in the afternoon. Ava has met some friends, and she's going to that Taylor Swift foolishness at the movie theater. This Taylor Swift's got it. She is the best. She sells out concerts everywhere for millions and billions of dollars. And then she says, you know what? I'm so good. I am going to let them make a Blair Witch Project. And I can already tell you, it's just going to be behind the scenes footage. A Blair Witch Project video of her concerts. And all those little kids are just going to jam the theaters. And they are. And my daughter, I wouldn't say she's a Swiftie, but she loves Taylor Swift also. So her and some of the girls that she knows from school now are going to this Taylor Swift concert, and she's gone for the evening. So it's just going to be Addie Bear and I. Friday night at the Meadows, Addie and Daddy, and Addie and Daddy night at the Meadows. We have a bunch to race. It should be a pretty exciting evening. And then Saturday, we have some horses in at Northfield. Think of Galaxies is in also. So lots of racing coming up this week. Lots going on at the stable. I did want to break down what I felt from today. And you guys know by now. If Cutie Cumber raced like shit, I would just tell you, she raced like crap. You know, she's in the sale. It's the end of her season. What are you going to do? She didn't. Race for Landing did race good. And although I pump his tires all the time, I think it's with good reason. And then Stay Close doesn't need anybody to pump his tires. The horse put on an absolute tear over here. He got butchered last week. Just the way the race, Mark would even tell you that's not his fault. You couldn't have driven him any other way. And then today, the opposite of how he likes to be driven, but it's how he had to be driven today because I couldn't butcher him again. And I knew there was a certain bar fight waiting for me on the front end. So that's just the way it had to work out. Next week's a new week with all 3 of those horses. So I would stay tuned for Wednesday if I were you. So with that, good luck to everybody tonight with Fish and all the horses tonight. I'm interested in Unique Style over Northfield tonight. What a mission. Okay, I love racing that little horse. Lots going on tonight. Stay tuned. I will talk to you all very soon. Oh, most important. You almost got me. I will be getting a number of emails, people saying, Anthony, I bought a share in this yearling from Lexington, then the share was taken back. So what happened was, we're always I pushed everybody to rush the shares and get them out, and between Wendy and the site provider, I think there was a snafu, and it's my fault. They had I think Eric had turned on some of the shares he wasn't supposed to. So if you're out there saying, oh my God, I can't believe I got a share of Melisandre, you probably didn't. So there's going to be some people there's going to be shares go missing. And that's only because they were already bought. Melisandre was sold out before she got anywhere near the stable.ca website. The DO filly had some shares left, so they'll work on a timestamp basis. It's unfortunate, and I apologize. It's on me, but It's just, I rushed everybody to get all this stuff out, and someone left the door unlocked. Put it that way. So if there's any issues, listen, if I can make it up to you, I will, any way I can. But for now, for those of you who ended up with shares who've looked and now they're gone, it's because they were never really there to begin with, and I apologize. So anything that needs to be rectified from that will be. My sincere apologies, but surely you understand the predicament we had. If there's no shares to be had, there's no shares to be had. So with that, I'll let you go. I will talk to you all very soon. Have a wonderful day. A chilly morning turned into a beautiful afternoon in Pennsylvania, and I hope it is a similarly beautiful night at Northfield Park. Take care.